Good morning students. In this video, I am going to explain about XML. First you will see the definition. What do you mean by XML? Its full form is Extensible Markup Language. It is a text based markup language and also it is derived from standard generalized markup language. What are the characteristics of XML? It is extensible. That is, by using this XML, we can create our own descriptive tags which suits our application. Like a variable name, we can create a tag Ashwibis. As according to users' wish, we can create our own named tags. And then it carries the data, it does not present it. That means it is used to store the data and we can export it. It won't give importance to that presentation of data. And then it is a public standard. It was developed by World Wide Web Consortium W3C. And then whether it is a programming language, it is not a programming language because it does not perform any computation or algorithms. Only its work is to store only data in simple text file. And it is processed by a special software which is capable of interpreting XML. So it is not a programming language. What is the declaration of XML? First line is called as a prologue section. See that first it's given XML version 1.0 and then encoding UTF-8. It is called as a prologue section. Next, syntax. What are the syntax rules for XML declaration? First, it is case sensitive. It must begin with the tag starts with XML and end with XML where XML is in lowercase. And then if it is any declaration means it is in the first statement of XML document. And then tags and elements. There must be a tree like format is followed in XML, same like in HTML. Okay. And then wherever the element starts, there must be a end element will be there with slash tag. See here, element syntax. We have to start with element, end with slash element. This is a proper format. Whenever we are starting the tag, it must be closed by the same tag and then with slash. Then nesting of elements, inside the elements we can write other elements also, that is called as the nesting of elements. And an example, see here, contact information one element, inside that another element is a company. So that is an nested element example. And then root element, which is the first element followed by that prologue section. It can have only one root element. So the main thing is it follows case sensitivity. We start one tag with small letters means it must be end with small letters also. Okay. And then what are the attributes? Attributes means it specify the property of an element. For example, a tag we are using here, then h reference one website name is given, so that specifies the property of the tag a. That is called as an attribute or a. And then for example, if you are writing some other thing in HTML, we will write no color, like some other additional properties also we can specify for that tag. And then XML document, it is a basic element of XML information. What is the structure of XML documents? XML documents means what? It composed of elements. It is a basic unit of XML and it must be ordered in a proper way. That is called as a tree format. And that element may be of any types. It can be a number, like in other all programming language we are using. Same like this, it may be a number, character or any type. This one more example given here, contact information, that is a root element. Inside it contains other sub elements like name, company and phone number. Then prologue section, it is the first statement in an XML document. It always specified in the top of the XML document, which is before that root element. And then document element section, reason building blocks of XML, and this divide the document into hierarchy of sections. By using this only, XML document is specified using the tree like format. And then tags, it is a foundation of XML that defines the scope of an element. So by using this element only, we divided that XML document into several hierarchical abstractions, which gives a tree format to the XML document. So whenever we start tag, end tag means whatever name we are giving to the starting element, the same name we have to given to the end element with slash tag. For example, if we are starting with address tag with small letters, means it must be ended with small letters address tag with slash tag with slash symbol. And then comments, this is a symbol same like HTML. What comments you are using, that same single open and close tag, and then followed by exclamatory symbol, and then 2 dash will be there, no? Same like HTML. Here also that syntax is same. And then what are the character entities? While writing tags, we are using greater than, less than symbols, which specify tags. Okay. Suppose as a user, we want to write these symbols. What the parser will consider, whether it is an syntax or an user defined symbol, how it will identify. So that is done by using this character entities. So these are three types will be there: predefined character entities, number character entities, named character entities. Predefined character entities. Suppose inside your text you want to specify greater than symbol or less than symbol, you can't write directly. Otherwise it will consider it is as an predefined syntax. So what you have to write is, if you want to write ampersand symbol or greater than symbol, greater than means and GT, and then less than means and lt, you have to write like this, then only it will consider it is an user text. And then instead of writing that, so many ways are there. The numeric character entities means, instead of writing that and gt, you can write the corresponding decimal value or hexadecimal value also. That is called as a numerical character entity. That is and hash 34, that represents quotation. And then and hash 60, that represents less than, or equivalent hexadecimal also you can write. And then named character entity, it is hard for the human being to remember that corresponding hexadecimal names. And then so what we have to do is, corresponding any name will be there, no? By using that name you can specify that special characters. For example, acute symbol means acute symbol, and you grave symbol like a like symbol will be there. So that corresponding name also we can specify. Okay, so these are the ways text can be specified if the same thing is considered as a syntax. And then data sections, in order to avoid that confusions what we faced in the previous slides. For example, if the user want to write and greater than, less than symbol, I told we have to write using that ampersand symbol. So in order to avoid that, we want to write same as greater than, less than, that must be specified in C data section. So inside C data section, whatever you are writing, even it may be a greater than, less than symbol, it considered as a text. We no need to specify and symbol like and gt and ampersand lt, that no need to specify. To avoid doing like that, we have to declare whatever symbol you want, you can do with the help of C data section. So it defines the blocks of text that are not parsed by the parser. So whatever symbol greater than, less than, whatever you can write inside the C data section, it won't be considered as a syntax of, it won't consider it is an XML syntax. It will consider user text. So if you want to consider your data as an the parser must consider as an user text, then it must be declared inside C data section. See here, but not otherwise recognized as markup. The predefined entities such as ampersand LT, GT and ampersand amp require typing that are generally difficult to read in the markup. So in order to avoid these confusions, simply you can write greater than, less than which is achieved by using C data section. Is the syntax for C data. Square brackets we are using, open closed tags and then exclamation symbol C data. Let's end with 2 square brackets. Okay, and then encoding. It is a process of converting Unicode characters into then equal binary characters. This is the first section. In prologue we are writing some of the properties. No, encoding scheme is we are writing UTF-8 and UTF-6. While transferring our text, how many bits it must be transferred, that is whether it must be converted to 8-bit or 16-bit, that is the encoding types. It is included in the prologue section of the XML document. So the first time we are writing XML version 1.0 and encoding UTF-8 and 6. So 8 means converting the characters into equivalent binary representation. So while converting that binary representation, whether it is converted into 8-bit or 16-bit, that is specified using this encoding types, whether it is 8 or 16. And then validation. It is a process by which XML document is validated. Two type of validator. That is, validation means whether we write the proper form of XML document, whether it follows the rules given by that XML. So that is a validation. It is a well-formed XML document or valid XML document. Well-formed means whatever rules till we saw, that must be followed. That's all. That is called as a well-formed XML document. That is, if we are using greater than, less than symbol, we have to use ampersand symbol. If we and then the rules must be followed while writing, that the order of the tags and the inner and outer tags must be closed in a proper way. And then properties, while writing that properties of an tags, attributes must be specified in a proper way. Well formed means also must follow the proper tree-like symbol that's given here. And then valid XML document, if it is an well formed and has an associated document type declaration. Well formed means it must be followed the tree-like structure and followed the rules. And then valid XML documents mean document type definition, that every variable types and all, it must be declared in a proper way. That is called as a valid XML documents. It must be well formed plus document type also declared in a proper way. That is, then it is called as a valid XML document. And then document type definition, it is a way to describe XML language precisely. It checks that validity of the structure and then grammatical rules of XML language. DTD means document type declaration. Its syntax is document type and then element DTD identifier and then followed by declarations. Here also two types will be there. Internal DTD. Internal DTD means we are declaring, for example, like in a class we are declaring no field names and all, we have to declare first, and then we are declaring that attributes and then data types. Same like this. See here, internal DTD means that what are the variables we are using, everything we are declaring here in document type. Address elements, what name, company, phone number. After declaring that structure only, individually we are writing name. It is a type of whatever PC data means, it can be any type, it may be a character or whatever it is. And then, so like in a class structure we are writing here internal DTT, the structure is specified inside that document itself when we are writing, that is called as a internal DTT. And then external DTT means File name only we are specifying. See here, external DTT, see here address.dtt is given, but that declarations are not here. That is declared as a separate file. Address.dtt in some other place, but we are calling here. You see the difference. Internal DTT means whatever structure, field name, everything is available inside that XML document only. But external DTT means that structure is available in separate place, but we are calling here. That is called as a external DTT. Here address.dtt is in some other place, maybe in URL or maybe in your system in some other place, and we are calling here. Yes, system address.dtt, but it is not available inside that XML, so that is called as an external DTT. And then XML tree structure. XML tree structure often referred to as a hierarchical structure it follows, so that is called as a tree structure. It's that meaning is what? It must be followed the proper rules and must be closed by proper XML tags in a proper order, so that is called as a tree structure. For example, if we consider company means, inside that next we are declaring a class employee, and then we are declaring inside other elements first name, last name, and then that address contains city, state and zip, like in proper order we are writing, no, that is called as a tree structure. And then viewers, how we are opening and viewing that XML documents by using Notepad, like easy editors by using that, or browsers we can use to open that XML files, and with extensions .xml, so we can use normal text editors as well as Explorer also. So XML editors means, and if you want to change any content you can use Notepad, WordPad, or any text editor. And for online also several online text editors also available. You can with some advanced facilities will be there. By using that, XML documents can be edited. It will do automatic checking in online. So many editors will be available by using that, because if we didn't do some tags also properly not closed, it is closed, and some highlighted colorful tags will be there to identify the difference between the syntax and all. Okay. And then XML parsers, it is a package that provides an interface for the client applications to work with XML documents. What is the use of this parsers means? It checks the proper format of the XML document, and it is used to validate the XML document whether the XML document is written using by proper rules. Okay, this is explanation of parsers, what it will do. And what is the goal of XML parser is, it is used to transform the XML into a readable format. Then databases, you know what's the concept of databases? Here two types of database, and if we want to access any records, we have to use a query named xquery. We are using to retrieve the data from the database. Two types will be that is XML enabled and native XML. XML databases. First type, enabled database, means like in a row and column format we are storing data. And then native XML database means like in a container format, like in the tree structure we are using, no, same like this we are writing, then that is called as a native XML database. Okay, thank you.